As Mast is currently gushing over some spells that he may or may not have access to, depending on
The vote.
choices and decisions and the vote.
Bruh, one of them is just you eat their fucking dreams. It's mad.
It's
Yeah.
literally Dream Eater from Pokemon, but aside from that.
I
Yes.
mean,
That aside, hold on because I had to pull up Flint's character sheet because Llama Chopper is currently having some very
very technical
very
issues.
bad technical issues. That
mm,
aside,
AKA not
we'll
having a
continue.
computer that'll work in.
Yeah, it's fine. I understand. Yeah, let's see here. So last we left our group of heroes, definitely heroes. Yeah, they killed they who defeated Grotst. You managed to spend the day, taking care of your needs, taking care of some personal things. Overall, very productive. Uh, until let's see here. Some things happened. Some of your compatriots decided to share some concerns. Some of them decided not to show their heads. But that aside, currently, if I recall correctly, yes, we are currently with the party in the inn they are currently resting in, being visited by Flint's. I want to get this correct. Technically, girlfriend, or is it fiance? If it's like you plan to marry her, but right now it's time and money and shit. Keep on forgetting. Lamb Chopper, are you there?
Just kind of practicing the voice behind the muted screen.
It's fine. I just want to confirm: is your character I keep forgetting her name. I'm sorry, so it feels so terrible about this, but
What's the name of your fiance, girlfriend, wife, whatever it technically
waifu.
Uh, get the other one, man.
Hold up, I'm pulling it up right now.
Larissa.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Larissa. Larissa, the current acting high priestess of her tribe's deity, whose name we'll just put simply is very long and complex, and kind of very hard to pronounce with a human mouth.
Yeah, Larissa is fine.
Larissa.
Larissa,
Yeah.
sorry.
Her patron god's name, but yeah, that aside, we'll just refer to Larissa and her tribe's god. That aside, so the main parties, except for Hajime, are currently in the inn, being visited by a high priestess, with a lot of the public currently kept off to the side. Let's see here, and actually, before we actually approach that party, the main party, Hajime, Master Duke, what is Hajime doing?
uh, what is she? I attempted to go to the courtroom, to the courthouse, the city hall, to get a permit, had but was denied because of the stench, and now I went to the alchemist and spent 100, what was it, platinum.
Yes, because it's simple to make, but hard to. It's a simple potion, but it's hard to get the ingredients.
Yeah, so easy potion, rare ingredients. Yeah.
So I need you to roll a D100.
Okay.
Anything below a 75 is going to be considered,
Good.
bad. Anything above a 75 is considered bad.
Okay. Because I always forget how you do D100s, where it be low
Yeah,
is good, whereas high is good bad.
Okay, good, it works. Okay, so yeah, I kind of pull from my times with Dark Heresy for that, where sometimes low is good, sometimes high is good.
It's severity.
Or failure is good. Yeah.
How severe is this?
It's actually fine. Actually, over the course of it's actually in this case would be several degrees of success, but you over like the course, the potion shopkeeper currently tending to the shop tells you that oftentimes it takes a few hours for it to work. And if you want, you can sit here and they have some reading material if you're interested, mostly
Actually,
newspaper. But
I have
yeah,
my own reading. I'll sit there and do some reading, but there's a book I've been needing to read for forever, but I've never gotten the time. I have the book of the red that was given by the shopkeeper, who may or may not have been a fellow servant of the.
the
Uh,
Blackthorn Grove.
mhm. I believe it was a book on. I got two books from him: a book of the red and like information on the red thorn, which
Yeah,
is the
one of them is one is a journal. The other one is a full-on book on the red itself, which you would know is heretical, any knowledge of the red, because unless you are a servant of a specific church where they have countermeasures to make sure you don't go blood hungry, is what the term is.
uh I will uh start reading the journal. No fucks given.
They they bring you over towards a sort of stall where they usually use to administer medicines that are more you know not that are more like they want to make sure you actually take the medicine on the spot, like things for like lycanthropy or vampirism. That being said, they make sure that the door is locked and that the lock is locked from the outside, not the inside, so that way nobody can bother you.
Mhm.
Inside is a magpie, actually. You see like a single chair. You see a nice, comfortable like sofa with a magpie sitting on a table in front of you, like a foot away.
Like an actual magpie?
An actual magpie. It does say, "Do not feed the magpie." It is do not feed the magpie. There's a sign that says, "Yeah, just don't feed it."
Uh, is it like
It's
a
in a
familiar?
cage.
Uh, is it like a familiar thing where
You
it's too?
Oh, I'll just say this: you without like detect magic or anything like that, you cannot tell. You'd know,
Okay.
yeah. And even
I'll
then, it's not guaranteed because some animals do have some innate magical properties
right.
that they're
The
capable of using. So yeah.
My question was: is it like a rudimentary Victorian alarm system or something, or security camera?
I'll just say this: make a nature check.
Ooh, I have because of my subclass, I have a, a bonus to nature check equal to my intelligence, which is a 3.
All right, yeah, go ahead and roll it.
Uh, Let me open up the character sheet.
Imagine not opening up your having your character sheet at the ready on that moment. Mm,
Hey, hey, man.
disappointing.
Hey, man. I was loading my. It was preloading. It was loading in the background.
Okay.
Uh, Nature with a.
Mm-hmm.
It's a +2 to it. I have a 14 intelligence.
Nice.
I believe
Good movie.
it's. Let me actually ping it because it might be wisdom now that I think of it.
It uses your wisdom now because of your circle choice.
Uh, your proficiency bonus is doubled for any check you made with herbalism kit. Additionally, you have a bonus on intelligence check equal to your wisdom modifier. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a uh
Straight increase, not a. Yeah.
Ah, okay. It's not a replacement. So,
It is a +5 to any rolls.
all right. So roll your nature. Oh, okay. That's. Oh, that's.
Add a
Just gonna
3 to
ignore
that.
those two. Yeah, so.
Uh, so
That's a 33, or sorry, a +3 or +4?
I have a +5 to my wisdom, and I believe nature is an intelligence roll.
Yeah. In this case, now because you add your wisdom modifier to nature
I
checks,
I will.
it's a 35.
Because it's
So
just. I will
it's a
actually.
flat bonus on top of what you already have.
Yeah.
So
I
just
will
add that in
actually.
later.
Yeah.
Yes, I will add a +5 to nature checks.
All right. Well, a 35, easy enough. You overkill it. You can probably guess if this is not a familiar, it's probably a trained magpie to notice to like sing when somebody no longer smells, bad. Probably like set up like this room is like set up probably intentionally beforehand, maybe because well, if you saw one of those creatures, it probably stands to reason others have. So yeah, it's a rudimentary alarm system for when the potion has taken effect.
Oh, dope.
Because they
Uh,
don't have machines that can smell you. There's no smell
not
of vision.
not yet.
That's sci-fi. Not even in modern would they have that.
Not yet.
Anyways, no, no, no. Don't, you better not post any imagine the smell memes. I swear to God. Anyways, that heresy aside, it's make a general intelligence check just to see how much you gather. Uh, you know,
Natural fucking one.
do you want to re-roll that, or do you want to keep it as is?
No, I just imagine you
uh,
got it on, and then it flies over your head immediately. It's just like, son of a bitch.
this is for my absorption of knowledge. For the journal,
Yes.
I will re-roll that. Uh,
Imagine
All
learning
right.
everything and you forget it a second later and going, son of a fucking.
That wouldn't be a natural one. 6. It's a bit here with the book is very odd. It's not that it's like in a way fanatical writings of some sort of madman or some sort of or just odd interpretations of different concepts. It's just that for you, probably due to your connection to the green, it makes little to no sense. But it mentions like the primal forces, the red that binds us all, the concept of an equal exchange with the red, as opposed to with the green. With your knowledge of the green, it's more of like, yeah, there's a equal exchange, but not in this sort of extreme. Yours is a form more like pacifistic or more like cohesive. It's a lot more. How do you put it? There's some permission given to it. There's an understanding to it. Whereas with this, there's no permission. There is no honor or not honor. There's no respect. It's just these concepts are just quite antithetical to what you've learned.
does it say of any people that use the red already?
You already
Like
know. I would say as a druid, you would already know. Blood hunters, atavists, people who are able to sacrifice their own life essence in exchange to cast spells,
Edgelords.
or often blood mages, or people or specific or even hemomancers draw some power from the red. Though some pull more than others, like atavists and blood hunters, they definitely pull more from the red.
um
Whereas spellcasters, noticeably less so because it's sort of like with necromancy, where you're kind of pulling power from Orcus, or when you're creating a zombie or anything like that. We're kind of paying a little toll here. Similar concept. You're paying a little toll when casting and giving power to the red when you cast Hemomancy.
Out of game, would the Blood Sisters be known? Is this an organization that would be known?
They would, yeah. They also, I would tell you, just you can easily know that their reputation in druidic circles, that they are generally accepted by, druids in terms of what they primarily do, which is using blood magic to kill evil, to kill things that disrupt the balance. They also, more often than not, hunt unauthorized blood mages or unauthorized, red users. Talk about people who are not blood hunters or atavists.
Okay. That's interesting. And this is the journal, right? Or
This is a journal on. This is a weird interpretation of the red. It's actually more akin to that of a scholastic understanding of the red, rather than a, rudimentary. In a way, it's less sanitized, far more raw.
very raw.
It feels like more of an opinion piece rather than a studied book.
No,
No,
it's,
this is.
it feels
this
more
is,
like a studied book than an opinion piece.
She. Right. So now she's just thinking to herself, if I'm going to understand the red more, I'm going to have to get it from the source. How how the people who practice it themselves view it. So that brings me to go to blood hunters, atavists, the blood sisters, organizations, group of people that use the red for their own benefit.
Yeah, or to complete their
Uh,
own tasks. Yeah, which in the
and
Avrani Union can easily find some blood nuns.
and the other book, since I assume I would have time.
Yeah, that's like over the court because of your low roll. It doesn't take you too long to kind of decide, okay, maybe I should just take my time somewhere else. In this case, yeah, basically you just spend half an hour trying to read it. It's just the concepts just don't make sense to you. So, next one regarding the Journal of the Red, make an intelligence check with advantage due to your own innate connection with the red, or with the Blackthorn Grove. 11, just what you needed to pass. So, as you take a read of it, I'm going to PM you something. Inside, you find what almost looks like a sketch book with writings.
Do they look like diagrams or ritual runes?
They look like a cohesive story using words as a way of elaborating, what's going on, but with pictures being the main focus and art.
Photography.
Basically, a comic book.
Oh, that's cool.
Give me a moment. I just need to pull it up. And some of these are actually colored in, and you have no idea why. The name of the book itself, not paint. Like, it looks like it's painted in, but there's no sign of any oil or watercolor or anything use of that. And you actually notice the introductory, as you open it up, the name of the book itself. Don't look at me, don't talk to me, don't touch me. And it appears to depict a elven woman. Full-blooded elven woman. And as you read the book, you don't even notice as the magpie begins to sing a rather pleasant song. And eventually, the only time when you actually notice it is when the lock to your door is unlocked, and you're asked if you're okay by the shopkeep.
Oh, she,
And with that, where are you? Sorry, you're saying?
oh, I was just gonna interrogate her, saying, oh, when you get into a good book, you forget all around you.
I noticed that as you finish up one page, almost like over the course of a second, another page is created. I'll just say what you have is going to update over a longer period of time and will eventually end. But yeah, you feel free to take a read out of at the book on your time while I am dealing with the other players here. As by the time you finish, you'll have already gotten your everything when your character is reintroduced to the party. So, meanwhile, in the tavern, Larissa is currently standing there, or acting High Priestess Larissa of her tribe's god, is currently kind of almost not easily, but is holding on to Flint and carefully sets him down a little ways away on a padded sofa. And
Flint summons the sword and turns it into a quarterstaff and tries to get himself up using it as a walking stick in order to keep the weight off.
No. She gestures for you, no, sit down, and no, take it easy. We're going to have plenty of time to talk together. I just have some things I need to speak to with you and your friends. You just relax. You look like the second day you were in the village. Do you want to persuade her against that? Do you want to, stand up and all that? Or do you want to let her have this one?
Forget what she's implying here, but I remember a time where he was just passed out talking to him.
Yeah, you're passed out repeatedly. You're either exhausted or passed out in your tribe on several occasions. On occasion, she did have to tend to you to make sure you didn't, die. Because it looked bad on the tribe as well as herself if you died on her watch. That being said, does Flint himself accept her advice, or do you want to persuade her that you're fine?
He will just kind of accept it, but he's kind of just whirling around and transforming the sword into different things, just kind of passing the time.
Actually, hold on. She sort of she looks on her side. And the knight sort of walks up. Oh, you're back. Right, I had you carry it. Thank you. Your world is so amazing with such useful magic. A lot of things I don't think anyone in our tribe would ever really consider. There's this spell called catnap that may help you with this. Are you okay with me using it? It'll only have you asleep for a minute, but you'll feel like you'll feel a bit better afterwards. That is an actual
You
spell, by the way.
have
Yeah,
looked
I
to
know.
attend to
I
the
have it.
drink. Oh, maybe if I was less this.
It's all right. It's gonna be fine. You'll feel better in no time. So, are you okay with it, honey?
It lets her do what she wants to do. He's not particularly resisting, just kind of fidgeting with a thing that's constantly transforming from form to form.
Okay. Hold on. Actually, I need to double check catnap. Now my brain is.
It's like 10 minutes. You take the bet.
I just bumped it up for you so you can read it.
Oh, right. Thank you. Yes. She pulls out a scroll and she sort of traces it in the on the symbol on the sheet of paper. And since you are a willing creature, as otherwise the spell would not take effect, feel yourself lull into pleasant form of unconsciousness as your staff disappears in a puff of red smoke, and you go into a pleasant dream. She just takes a seat, like a bit not on his leg, but like close to him, and you and Vera and Norlai, since you're there, you can see that she's like running her thumb across his feet his features, his cheekbones and all that.
This is shortly after breakfast, right?
Yes, this is shortly after you finish breakfast.
How very motherly of her.
If you want, you can make an insight
And inside on Flint.
on Larissa
Okay.
as to what her intent is while she's doing this, or what's going on through her mind,
Yeah.
or just what gets her emotions right now.
I'll give it a shot. I'm not doing anything besides just
30. All right, yeah, I don't even need to GM roll it or not or PM you it. Yeah, certainly a very very high level of infatuation that you've seen in loving couples. That is to say, she's very clearly in love with him.
Lorelai just takes a small drink, just being like, lucky guy.
Lucky bastard.
Doesn't say bastard, but thinks it.
Flutter, would Vera like to roll insight as to what's going on through her head, or Flutter, are you there?
Ladder.
Yeah, I'm here. I
Oh.
said yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead and roll insight if you'd like. 23. Yep, same thing. She's certainly in love with him.
Very motherly, I would say.
I mean, she's a life cleric of her tribe, with certain social norms that she does admittedly choose to follow, does comfortably follow because it's more up to her instincts, or other up to her personality. But still, she very much affectionate towards Flint in a loving and motherly way. And let's see here. Oh, right, I didn't show you the race PDF, but as to like how to describe her, basically purple skin, pure white eyes, the small like slightly grayish iris, and pupil, and a white pupil with what looks like tendrils for hair, not tentacles, tendrils for hair, and very rubbery looking purple skin.
Hawkish.
She appears to be wearing thick robes. So hard to tell if she's muscular or if she's just fat or whatever. But kind of expected of the churches and stuff. Kind of standard attire probably until their church decides to on like what attire just should be appropriate for them to represent themselves. Either one, yeah, that's what you're able to insight. Do any of you want to approach, or do you just want to let her have her moment?
Nah, let the couples be couples.
Flutter.
All right.
All right, it's a good few minutes. Flint, you
Excellent.
feel? Hmm?
Excellent. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. Do you have a question?
No, I was just going to. I was just thinking about that experiment I need to check on.
Yeah. Oh, it's like a few minutes, like 2 minutes before she takes an inhale and exhales and approaches the two of you, and as well as your two compatriots who are there, as she, keep forgetting her name. Yeah, but Noor is not there at the moment. I was told you're not the same group that was traveling with him before. I take it you're new, all of you?
Well, I got asked to recently join these guys to keep an eye on them, to give them help, give them assistance.
Hmm. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. Dwelf?
Yes, I am.
Oh, is it? Oh, my apologies. I did not mean to refer to you by your name, by your race, than by your race. I've been told it's considered rude.
Nah, if you didn't know my name, it's alright to say my race, but my name is
May I?
Norlai. Norlai Blackhammer.
Thank you. Are you married?
No, unfortunately.
I was told. Okay, I was told that people who are not married do not like to be referred to as married, and married people sometimes don't like to be referred to as not married, and sometimes it's the opposite. And
Yeah,
customs are
relations
it's
are
very
complicated.
strange.
Yeah, relations are
So,
complicated. I understand how it
Miss,
works.
Miss Nora, it's a pleasure to meet you. And you are, ma'am? She looks towards you, Vera.
Your church mouse. Pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure. Are you also married?
I am not.
Okay. Would you like for me to refer to you as Miss Vera or Miss Churchmouse or
Whatever you like really doesn't make much difference to me.
okay, Miss Churchmouse. I did not know if you had a title. I've heard that there's again very odd customs to somewhat similar but very odd implementation. Nevertheless, it's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Churchmouse.
Oh,
Um,
if you need
I
help with
am
that, you can always ask me. I am quite learned.
I am Larissa Lian Gascon.
Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, my apologies. Last name is in my mother tongue. I've begun to learn your common tongue. It's very simple and blunt. Or multiple common tongues, which is also very odd, but nevertheless,
I'm making
it's
a
a.
history check.
Go ahead.
I should check for a
16.
language.
With the 16, you know the name of her language, but not so much of like any deeper intricacies, as again, this is a newer race that was discovered in a dungeon, and scholars are still deciphering it. But the
So no
name
language.
let me just write it in. Actually, I believe I wrote. I'm sorry, I was about to pull up my physical notes, but then I realized, wait, I already have it digitized. Just one moment. I just need to pull it up.
What race is she? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Demog.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
Demogs that we meant, like when we were in, like in that
oh my
dungeon where they
god.
had that Balgrim, that glass metal.
I
Yes.
want to play a D-Mod so bad.
I
Oh,
know, they're fun.
Yeah, and
they
Ratchet wants access to
are.
that Balgrim. God damn it.
Yeah, hold on, where is it?
Hit.
There, come on, load. Come on, baby. Please. Don't do this to me. Oh, there we are.
You have to speak better sweet nothings into it. To
Don't
it.
hurt me no more. God damn. Now that song's stuck in my head.
Inarian. It is called Inarian. I'll type it in.
Feels
It
like,
makes use of
oh,
yeah. Sorry, after you.
no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's very difficult to it's a very difficult language because it makes use of vocal chords that are not native or usage of vocal chords in a way that is not found in any native race of Pathros.
Yeah.
Well,
And
we know what.
what's your race look like?
Uh,
All purple skin,
thing.
4 fingers,
Oh,
1 thumb.
I have the perfect example.
I'm
Perfect
like,
idea.
I'll
okay,
post the image. Sorry.
okay. V responds with, "Oh, in Aryan. I've heard of your people."
Yes, that's, I'm very happy to hear that. Do you speak it as well?
Let's
I
see
do
how
not.
far I
No,
shared with these people.
unfortunately.
Oh, it's quite all right.
Nope.
I've been told it requires a physiologic. What was it they said? Physiological
Physiological.
differences. Yes, I
Yes, that's
sorry. The
correct.
name of the common tongue very simple, but I'm still getting the grasp of it. And I'll just post it here.
What's the,
If
Yes, we could speak it, but there would be a heavy accent.
also you're also at times you're I've noticed that people are not able to pronounce certain words like yes due to not being able to perceive it. Something about frequency.
what's
But
the
yes,
Ah, yes, that's a fair point.
what's
yes.
the this is completely a random question. But what's the race that has the tentacle with the beak? In the Underdark eats brains.
Mind flayers.
Yeah. Mind
It is
flayers.
What?
known
Yeah.
that Demog are a sort of hybrid of mind flayers and actually humans.
Just that's the way I'd like to.
Specifically, according to all information from this group that has now been split, uh, a mutated version of Mind Flayer that is to put into simple words, biologically compatible with humans.
Yeah.
Which, suffice to say, extreme on one hand because of the genetic biodiversity and flexibility of humans makes sense, but also with mind flayers and the way they work doesn't make sense because they're not
Is
normally made and all that.
isn't Demog an all-female race, or is just that me being nutty?
That's just you being nutty.
Yeah, you might be
Okay,
thinking of another race that might be similar or something else.
probably.
Anyways.
I'm probably.
Here's the thing for Demog. Anyways,
Larissa has a dad.
yeah, she has a follower.
The whole
You're
thing.
thinking, yeah, you're thinking the Mass Effect universe stuff.
Probably.
So that's debug. Okay. Got a good image there.
Mm,
And I got a good image for
yeah.
the recording.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we now know what Flint's fetish is.
Be like,
No,
It's the worst kind.
Flint.
Hand holding in healthy relationships.
God damn it.
I didn't know.
Eh.
I didn't know Flint was Japanese.
That's a bad joke, and
He's
you know
he's
it.
not. He's German. He's a German, or the equivalent of German in
No,
this
I
setting.
believe he's no, wait. Yep. No, yes, he is German.
German, but
That's
grew up with
fire.
like Slavic stuff. But anyways, so moving on. He's so she she then approaches your colleagues who give similar responses, except for Nolan, who just actually doesn't flirt with her at all. She's just like, hey, name's Nolan Dialogue. You just call me Nolan. Love Jules just very not infatuated in a weird, in a romantic way, infatuated like in a cultural way, since it appears he has never, he hasn't seen, he's appears to be, he actually appears to be able to speak Anarian.
Why am I not surprised?
Uh, the actually mostly now because he is not bound to. He's actually at the moment bound to lexicon, so he's able to speak any language
Oh.
and understand. But yeah. Yeah, benefits of certain of being a binder. At one point, you can speak and understand and read every single language at once. The downside, everyone else can understand it. Actually, you at this point you would actually, oh yeah, you'd hear him. He's like, "My name's Karim of of uh, it's a very long title. Abdul Karim, um, occultic investigator, binder of the Order of Crimson Binding, uh, a, survivor of something 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 that was it of the Dread Mahar and occultic curseborn.
Hmm. I thought it was going to be more of Mexican male naming conventions.
No, it would actually be more akin to that of the Middle Eastern naming conventions, where, where it lists not just your first name and your family's name, but also where you're born, what specific region, and all that. Very interesting, by the way. Other naming conventions and other cultures, very very interesting. That aside, what was it? Right. So he, he just gives a very courteous, very excited conversation, and Larissa responds in kind because it's the first time that in her lifetime right now where she's actually able to speak in her native tongue with someone. It kind of sounds like a bunch of eldritch abominations screaming at each other to you guys, except with Larissa, and also when it comes to when Abdul is speaking. He's because you can all understand him.
Hmm. I mean, isn't. Hmm. I was going to say something, but I lost my train of thought.
It's like it's like when someone from like Japan or Greece comes to America and finally meets somebody who speaks Japanese or Greek.
Hmm.
Yeah. That being said, he she it's a bit of a long conversation with Abdul where she asks him what's the Eurasian Empire like, and he explains sandy. It's got sand, and it's terrible because it gets everywhere. I'm sorry I had to say that line. It was I'm not legally obligated to say it. I just had the desire to.
God damn.
Hate me if you want. I don't know. I do not blame you.
Calm down
But
there,
you just
Anakin.
yeah.
You should have committed to the joke instead of saying that it was sorry. How absolutely pathetic.
Anyways, that aside, yeah, long conversation with him where she asks him about his own country, how he's able to speak so fluently. all that stuff. That being said, conversation with Nolan is shorter. It's like basics, like hi, my name is Nolan. Uh, I'm an elf, but I'm a drow elf. She asks like what that is. He explains. We're often called dark elves, and we reside in a place underground called the Underdark. She asks him what the Underdark is, and when he describes it, she's like, "Oh, so that's like, oh, that's very that's so like like my world, but on the surface. Huh, nice, but underground. Nice. Anyways, yeah, it's again short conversation, but to the point and actually somewhat informative. She then turns to the rest of the party and takes a few steps with the guards. And let's see here. Let's see here. Sorry, I need to pull up my notes here. Oh, there it is. She asks if, well, first and foremost, how is Flint been doing? From each of you, starting with Vera.
Flint's unconscious right now, right?
Yeah, It's like I would say like by the time you guys finish the conversation, he'll wake up.
Vera says, well, I actually had the pleasure of meeting with him last night. I don't know if I'm necessarily comfortable talking about it in public, though. I
Make
don't know.
a oh,
I don't know what he would want other people to hear or not.
make a actually she'll roll it. It's like check. Right, I did not digitize her character sheet.
Yeah, but I'm on the inside on that.
You could definitely phrase that a bit better.
Yeah. So roll a persuade. Perform. No, I'm not gonna have you roll. Just I'm not gonna have Vera roll. It's fine. I'll say yeah. DC's 12 to understand what she's getting at. The word. Uh, yeah. You didn't need to roll. It's fine.
I
So
want to anyways. I
basically,
want to use that plus 12.
fair enough. So essentially, yeah, it's not in a phrasing basically beforehand would have been useful, but you're the core of your point, like you kind of had a moment of something concerning with him, and you don't know if he would feel comfortable with you speaking
Yeah.
about it in
I
public.
went to see him for medical advice, is what I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah, normally you can certainly tell, yeah, it's nothing weird. It's just purely like she saw something that she's concerned about and all that. And so does actually, thank God she's a cleric. That I did not, don't mean pun. I did not intend for the pun. I apologize. But yeah, thank goodness she's a cleric because she rolled a 12 plus her wisdom bonus and proficiency. She understands, nods like she essentially said that she says, "Well, I understand your desire to. While I wish to know more, I also respect his privacy. So, uh, thank you.
Well, he seems, he seems to care a great deal for each other. I would not be hesitant to tell you. I'm just more worried about other people overhearing.
It's okay. I understand. It's circumstances are." She sort of looks around and Knight sort of like look around like, is there something around? Sort of like
Suffice
odd.
to say, suffice to say, he did work himself to the bone last night.
He does that a lot, quite often. I wish he didn't. It scares me sometimes, but it is who he is, and I know that he would not. I know that he wouldn't hurt. He would not hurt himself in that. it's so terrible that he wouldn't be able to continue working. Or at least I hope he does. No, I have faith in him. So
Her expression turns a little bit serious as she says, "Did you hear about what happened to the ship with the demon lord?"
yes, I heard that your group defeated him. I'm sorry, we don't. How do I put this? I'm still learning what a demon is. We don't have them in our world.
He's not a being that can be killed easily, but we did drive him back. But suffice to say that this demon revealed that he had some ties to his past.
Oh, she has like a sort of like understand like oh dear. Um, he sort of looks to the knights and asks, and her eyes glow briefly, and one of the knights says, "Easy there, it's fine. You have about a week before you need to leave, before either your next appointment, so yeah." She says, "But I need a bit more than," and the knight says, I understand, it's just, you know, I'm just here to inform you of what you have, not, I, I would recommend speaking to one of your bishops." And she says, "Yes, but I, you're right, it's not your job, you're busy as is, I understand." And he sort of raised her, like, "Yeah, again, I'm sorry, but just, there's not much I can do right now." Uh, I take it you know of his past, yes? She appears to have a very
A
pained
little.
expression on her face. Sorry. I don't feel. She looks at the rest of the group. "I don't know if anyone else does, so I will, for his own sake, not reveal it. But suffice to say, it was very traumatizing. No person should ever have to go through something like that. It's something that no good person would ever want to impose on another life, whether they deserve it or not." She took an exhale. Nor will I. How is Flit doing from your perspective?
Uh, Honestly, I just got in here moments just before you did, and just recently turned it off. Well, let me see if I can determine what's going on, because it seems like something. So, can I make a medicine check, or would it be an insight to discern?
Insight for mental, medicine for physiological.
I'll go with medicine, because it seems like there's something like he's something physically going up with him first.
All right, natural 20. Well, I mean, you did have to treat him. You were there. You did receive some medical reports because you were also part of the medical team because of eh, your focus on comfort and training, and your thanks to your divine fae patron, your own your own specialization with comfort. Setting things up. One of the weird things, which are easily explained as he would have elaborated. His eyes are completely red, as in like just red spheres, and his let's see, and but aside from which, but he's able to see normally through them. In fact, it's weird. It's almost like glasses where you're actually able to see through them, and except or better through them. Except in his case, you can actually see like a good distance away out in the darkness, and not even magical darkness impedes his sight anymore. But aside from that, nothing too concerning. He's gonna have to like take it easy in terms of like, right, especially right now with how much work he's doing. But he does definitely need to take a chill pill, so to speak, for modern day. Actually, I don't think that's a modern day saying, isn't it? Shit.
Yeah.
That's not a. I
He's
am. Damn it, not down to the 2006 era.
God.
Brain. Anyways.
Anyways,
He just needs to relax.
Uh,
what I also
is
sorry, you go first, guys. Mask.
I this is just kind of a conversation that I want to try my utmost to get involved with, but at the same time, I don't think I could
Yeah, because you're not
because
physically here yet.
You will soon, don't worry.
yeah, because I'm just trying to piece together the timeline where she left after breakfast. This is happening directly after breakfast,
Well, you
so
finished your breakfast almost like much quicker than everyone else.
she didn't eat breakfast
Alright,
because
you
she
didn't eat
had.
breakfast, so you just like took a shower, or you tried to take
That's
a
right,
bath,
Patrick.
and you left.
Mm-hmm. Because she's had the blood. She had a blood meal before.
Yeah. So,
So,
so aside from that, he appears to be fine. He just needs to stop overworking himself.
so I can tell he is exhausted.
Yeah, that much.
Yeah.
But you also know about like the whole thing with his eyes. He's able to see through magical and non-magical darkness.
Oh, would I
That's
notice
through
that?
an invocation.
Oh, okay, so that's an invocation, not a curse. Okay. That's just warlock.
Nah. Do you want to reveal that to her?
Yeah, I will tell him that. I'll like tell her what I've managed to discover.
Yeah. Also, like some minor concussion, a minor concussion that has been treated. Still under watch, but because of the nature of his work, they can't force him to leave, especially since, yeah. Anyways, yeah, that you she nods like understanding that, and eyes. That's odd. Are they? Well, she sort of looks around a bit and walks towards you. Will those carry over to children?
As far as I can tell, it's specifically a warlock, like a warlock evocation, as in it's something a warlock chooses
It's
from the
only
usage. I
yeah.
think.
She asked specifically if it'll pass over to her to children if you were to ever have children,
If they were,
which you would know,
yeah,
which you would immediately know. Yeah, that doesn't happen.
yeah.
It's self-contained.
I will
It's kind of
like
like a scar or something like that.
yeah, I will just be like, unless they kids could become a warlock themselves, you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, good, good. That explains a lot. I'm still learning a lot about your world. The concept of
Yeah,
this
but
very, very how do you pronounce? But give me the arcane magic. Yes. Yes. Anyways, uh, she sort of looks around. Mr. Nolan, was it? Says, yeah. You seem like the socially under socially knowledgeable person. How is he with speaking to people? What do you say? He just goes into a bit of a wheezing laugh. Oh, you're serious? Oh, you're serious? How do I put this? Takes a moment to think. Let's see if he's. Why is that GM role? No, public. I'm not just not going to use that one. 22. He's fine. He just needs to work more on things like He's getting better with speaking confidently, especially now that he's a really uh, talented musician now under a very expensive and very well-known label. Because of his skill, it's helped a lot with his self-confidence issues. In terms of just general self-confidence, he's fine. Yeah, he's about fine. He's not hurting himself or anything like that. She just like, okay, that's good to hear. Let's see if, yep, and and you, Mr. Abdul, and he says essentially like, she asks him, since you know about since you're very specialized with souls, what do you think of his soul? And Abdul, oh, he just translates that, which sounds like a bunch of eldritch screaming, to you rest of you guys as as such. And he explains that his soul has gone through he himself has gone through a lot of terrible things from the sounds of it, which is surprising considering how pristine his soul is. It's got a lot of it's an odd sort of pristine where it's heavily scarred, it's heavily damaged, and it's been torn apart to shreds in a psychological perspective. But physically, in the actual form of it, it's come out stronger in a way for in certain circumstances, but it's weaker in others. Where he would need to actually peer into his soul, but it seems like it's stronger now than it was before, from his understanding. Which she sort of nods a bit, not entirely understanding, but taking him at his word. I was told there were two others. Do you happen to know where they are? I was told a dryad woman and a knight. Another knightly fellow. Do you happen to know where they are? As she asks that, Flint, you wake up and mark off one exhaustion, as you are now at only one level of exhaustion. Feel a little bit better. Actually, I'll mark it on your character sheet. I forgot you don't have it. You're not able to access it yet. My bad. I'll just mark it off. I am so sorry about that. But yes, you lose a level of exhaustion. You're now down to 1. Yeah.
That was a nice sleep for once.
Actually, no. Oh no, you already removed a point of exhaustion. I forgot that. Right with the other things. So you're now at 0. You feel completely fine actually. Head's clear, mind's not empty, heart's well, that's up to you to decide whether or not it's good or not. But nevertheless, yeah, you feel way better now.
Clint takes out a little note thing and then immediately it takes the note of catnap.
Yeah, might want to invest in in the future.
Scroll or two or actually learn it.
Or learn. Actually, I think bards can learn
Learn what?
catnap.
Oh.
It is a bard spell as well, if I recall.
Let me double check for you because I could swear it might be.
Yeah. Yes, but that aside, you do feel noticeably better. Let's see here.
Artificer, bard, sorcerer, wizard.
My bad. Why did I think catnap was a bard? Wait, is it artificer and bard? You said?
Yeah, artificer, bard, sorcerer, wizard.
Huh. I actually wouldn't think artificer. But that aside, good to see. Good to hear. Good to hear. But yeah, it's something that you're keeping in mind, I guess. And in addition, let's see here, you get a face full of, because you're sort of getting up and you're kind of at chest level, yes. You get a face full of, yes.
No, face full of dirty pillow. That's an accurate way to describe it.
Yes. Or at least you would if it were, a closed, if it were a closed up robe. If it weren't a closed up robe. But still, yeah, you get a face full of the proverbial dirty pillow. And let's see here.
He gets up as he does not like these forced awkward situations that he has found himself in over these years.
She takes a few steps back and sort of realizing, oh no, oh dear, made you uncomfortable. And she sort of looks at the rest of the group.
He tries to shake
Hajime,
her.
you
He's just
hear.
not
Oh, sorry.
comfortable waking up to it.
Yeah. Hajime. Not Hajime. Uh, Vera and Norlai, you'd hear coming from, of course, of all people, Nolan's mouth. Lucky bastard.
I just kind of snicker myself, just like,
Uh, thank, thank you. Uh,
We have to.
I-
Oh,
you remind me of a thing that I need to get from now on while I'm like this.
yes, but she sort of turns to her friends and turns towards your colleagues and looks to specifically at Vera. If you want to ask if it's okay for to reveal this to her, I believe it was Vera's thought process.
No, Vera wanted to make, was fine with revealing it to her, just didn't know, just didn't want anyone overhearing, just in case.
Yeah.
AKA private conversation time.
Sorry, I please forgive me. I spoke to your friends while you were asleep. I wanted to get to know how you were doing, and aside from the terrible fight you had to go through in that ship, which I'm surprised something as big as that is considered a ship, but yes, whatever. I'm happy to see that you're doing that you're doing. She sort of thinks for a moment, and actually, because you actually know the language due to you being in the first encounter with her with her race, you understand. Well, her again, her the language she speaks certain words, and there are certain new concepts in the words, much like if you're familiar with Korean, with where there are certain ideas put into one word that don't show up in the English language.
yeah.
Yeah. Which in this case, or in Narian, translates for you as a stressful situation where a trial that it was a trial that resulted in and brought up terrible memories, but excuse me, and heavier weight, or troubling memories and a heavier burden.
I think that I need to talk to you later as I'm working on something.
Yes, whenever you need. But in the meantime, I am here for you and your friends, and two of your friends are not here. I'm sure they'll come by eventually. But I do need to speak to you regarding. I do need to speak to you regarding something in private. It's nothing bad. I just need to.
Guess I gotta
I
roll.
just need to. I just need to update you on some things. As she sort of looks around, and one of the knights sort of like gestures towards another towards one room, and they check it out. You see like a couple servants like, kind of ushered out, like excuse us, all all that whole spiel, and they gesture for you and your and Larissa to come into to to come inside.
Which does kind of moving a bit fast since it can, because nice not to be exhausted anymore. Can do a run.
So do you decide to enter with her, or oh, hello?
I'm assuming he said yes. Like, freaking, right?
He's
I,
just running to do to be there because he can run because he was exhausted and had sluggish movement before.
yes, just confirming. So yeah, you do come inside, and it's for the most part looks like some sort of break room. There's some chairs and tables, and she takes a seat at a chair on an opposite at a corner and gestures for the corner seat next to closer to her.
Which I guess he takes. Mm-hmm.
All right. She doesn't get physically closer to you. She just takes her seat and she sort of just looks waits for you to take a seat and get comfortable and all that before she asks. So I've heard about you experienced something terrible or something that brought back terrible memories.
I pass.
Lots of it, from what I heard. You were brought to a point of unconsciousness because of it. I'm sure that could not have been good for you.
Not sure. He kind of does air quotes. Ready to. I'm not sure I can physically put it into words, but
Would it be better through song?
sort of. But I'm not a singer. I just have these instruments and these sounds, and I feel like if I were to keep working, then maybe I'd be able to say everything.
Do you
Not
not
only
have your
just
inch?
say
Do you not
everything,
have your?
but
Do you not have your instruments on you?
no, I do. He takes out the violin, but the song isn't ready yet. It's taking time to compose this
All
one.
right. Your
It's gonna
people
be
write down
long.
their songs. I forget at times. Um, if I may make a suggestion, I believe that's the right word, suggestion. And you want to recommend something, but not force it. The knight says, yes, that is correct. Thank you. In my people's culture, we do not write songs. We do not we don't uh, memorize them. They are uh, like lightning bolts uh, or snowflakes, where each one is unique to each different occasion, and they are almost never the same. The reasoning why is because they are played for in that moment. As such, for some of us, very, very few of us, we have, much like you, what was bards, yes, very, very, very few can pull emotion and make it into song. Doesn't have to be cohesive, but it carries a great weight. Because reality listens. So, maybe don't focus on writing. Just let it come to you and play it for a moment. Don't worry about having to record it or replay it in front of a. How many people do play in concerts? Do you play for in
Lost
concerts?
track of the number likely. Every time there's room, there's a seat filled.
She looks a bit nervous for a moment, turns to
Even
one of the
times where
guards.
people have sat on each other. It
Uh,
is starting to be
mhm.
terrifying.
Oh, that's very concerning. She turns to one of the guards and
I think
from what
I don't
heard, like,
think I can find a place with enough seats
from what I
and
heard,
supporting the
yeah.
people that I want to support.
The knight says, from what I heard, the last one oversold. I think it was like 600 or so. My goodness, that is very very high. You don't need right. You don't need to worry about playing in front of 600 people. Don't even don't
I'm already
even
not.
don't even
Not
try.
something
Don't
that I
even
do want
think
to
about
play.
anyone. Don't even think about anyone else in here. Just you and me, or just you if that feels much better. Just close your eyes. Think about that moment. After having so much time to think about, after having some time to think about it, and just play how you feel.
I mean, do that as much as I want. I do need the notes to remind me clearly of that feeling without my mind trying to.
Then
There are some
she just
times
looks
where I
around.
want to forget some parts of it and end up doing so.
Hmm.
Hurts to remember some aspects of it sometimes. I
Maybe,
sometimes forget how much
maybe they should be
acid
forgotten.
hurts sometimes.
Maybe they should be forgotten for to have kind of museum, which you know is like essentially peace of mind, but like in a single word.
I need to confront it. I need to share it with you. And
Yes, but right
somebody who
now,
wants to understand what I've been through. And
mm,
that, I need to know everything fully.
one of the knights coughs a bit. If that would. She looks at the other guards who just sort of stare at him. Like, dude, like, come on, these people. If it helps, I practiced writing sheet music for a very long time. I still do. And one of the guys you can hear she says, "Ha," and says, "Ha, nerd." He says, shut up, man! Come on, it's fun and relaxing. Yeah, you're right. I'm just messing with you. That'd be wonderful. She reaches for her purse, which one of the knights give her, and she pulls out a rolled up piece of paper, and he just sits on one table on one chair and says like I can just write it all down if that'd be easier. And
I
she looks like, will that be okay?
I think it's something that I'm slowly writing and composing on my own, even though this first tidbit was writing it while exhausted. It's not written great at all.
Maybe this will be
A lot
written
of things
better.
that it lacks, but it does have an emotion there.
Then
Reminds me of that. Oh,
just trust me. Just play. He'll record as much as you want. Uh, each sort of looks into her bag and gives him like four more sheets of paper, which he gladly accepts. So very quickly, he just essentially sketches out some the basics for sheet music, blank sheet music, and waits.
well, no, I can't. I appreciate you two trying to help, but you're also not the audience I'm playing this for. And while I appreciate your assistance, this is something that's going to be deeply personal.
She looks a bit taken aback, presses it for a few moments, for like 3 seconds. I understand. This is a path you must take of your own
I
volition.
seek to only play this to people that I want to communicate everything that I've been through without needing to say a single word. Because I find it tough to say the words. And taking the time to refine what I have to say song. Help
Would
it
you like? Oh, sorry. Would you
up
like? I was
clearer
just gonna
than it
ask.
could.
I was gonna ask. Would you like to make an insight check on her as to how she is?
Yes.
Okay. This will be. There we go. And 14. You can clearly tell that she wants to connect with you. Not just like not just like emotional, not just like mentally, but also emotionally. She wants to understand you. She wants to speak. She wants to, help you there. But at the same time, right now she understands that she thinks that you don't want to show her this side of you.
It's
And
not that I don't want to show it. It's because what I want to tell you this, but I need to be able to form a sentence first.
she sort of raises her eyes a bit,
I can
realizing that you've read her a
play
bit.
some of
Sorry,
it,
continue.
but I'm not sure if its meaning will be 100% clear. I
It's
could
fine.
play a little bit about what my home life was like.
It's fine. I
And that's
understand
the
now.
beginning of that chart.
It's like a statue or many wood carvings. In order to get one done, you need to go through many different blocks. I'm sure you'll find the block that will have that with your final and complete form. As with your insight, you can tell that there's less. She's now more at ease as she understands it a bit more. She was just very confused as to, like, why doesn't he want to share this with me? Why doesn't he want to tell me about this? Does he not want to show me this because he's ashamed, or because she doesn't think I'm not the right person? Why am I not the right person? But now that you explain it a bit more, she you can tell that she's, oh, it's just he can't find the words right now. That's fine. I'm rushing. Oh no. I'll give him his space. And she sort of nods and, I understand. In short, I understand. This is something you very much care about, don't you?
Do.
Hmm.
If you do want to hear
Your
a little, I think I can
masterpiece. Your
communicate.
masterpiece, I believe, is the what the Pathrosians use.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure it would be that. Maybe I have higher heights to go. Maybe I have.
Well, your own
But this is something
masterpiece.
deeply personal, and I want to be able to tell it to you in full.
Then I
I can
can
tell
wait.
it to you in a part for now. And if,
It's okay, I
oh,
can wait. After all, she sort of stands up and she just sort of goes and extends her hand as if like, can I hug you right now? Sort of like a gesture.
He just accepts the hug. He just goes for the hug.
Aggressive. Okay. You surprise her,
Not
and
really
she just says,
aggressive. It's just
but you're
Good
starting.
one.
It's fine. Yeah, she holds you tightly, and she just says, "Just remember, if you ever need to speak to someone, I'm just a message stone away."
it's nice to know you're there. And I wish I could be there more.
Hmm.
I
No. Sorry, you're saying? Sorry, I accidentally interrupted. My bad. Continue.
I wish I could be there with you more. I'm not doing my part as much as you've done yours. I
It's
just
all right. Your path is your own. My path is
assistance
mine.
hurts.
But our paths do not prevent us from meeting each other when we want. Do you know what that means? It means that we can be there for each other when the other needs it. And don't worry about trouble. My, the person who is supposed to be my spouse, he's taken quite a liking to one of the churches uh, of your world's faith. I believe the god is called Gro Goyil. The priest, one of the knights says Gorum, ma'am. Yes, Gorum. Very interesting god. Very very similar to a older version of my tribe's faith, and yeah. She just continues like talking to you. Meanwhile, outside of the inn, masked. You see, as you're making your way there, a large wall of people just standing and trying to look over each other. Around like a block, about a few blocks around your the inn you're staying in.
Uh, is it like preventing people from entering, or
It appears to be. You might be able to find a way around.
uh, do I want to be confrontational or non-confrontational?
Am I confronting the
Uh,
major looter, like loiters, but apparently there's more.
uh,
Originally there was just
oh,
traffic blocking up, but apparently we can.
yeah. She'll go up to one of them and ask, "What's all this? Everyone crowding around for?"
Oh, let's see here. Roll D100 for me. Let's see what type of person you meet, or who gives you the answer, and what their answer is.
53.
53. 53. I am so sorry. You know what? No, I'm not, because I'm not going to be doing the voice. I am not going to be doing the voice. I'm not going to do a shrilly teenage girl screaming
You can just move
fangirl
one number
character.
over. It'll be fine.
Effectively, no, it would be 3 numbers below. But that aside, you managed to get an answer that, as someone who's very fluent in fangirl, all forms of fangirl, you know that essentially it comes down to the jack o' lantern is here. So, guy who youngest member of the White and supposedly very very attractive. is there with a bunch of mercenaries and the high priestess of the Demog race's tribe.
Do I know about the Flint's significant other?
Uh,
Has Flint told me about her? Actually,
Don't think he has. He's just
Yeah.
been calling her. And
yeah,
that's
you have
that.
no idea, and neither is
Okay.
anyone else. So essentially, yeah. First things first.
They see a
Regarding
single
Demog,
man when he's already taken.
yeah, and you also hear like off in the distance like some fangirls talking about like, oh, what is he? Do you think he's human? Like, likely, but he might also be tiefling. Another person arguing, tiefling? No way. He's a uh, he's a brim touched. Another
oh,
arguing that, oh no, it makes sense because of how sad and sonorous his songs are. Only someone who has suffered as much as tiefling in today's society could ever write something like that. I'm like, no, 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 that's very discriminatory. Everyone suffers. Which then devolves into,
oh,
yeah.
Hajime has an idea of her own. Perhaps he's a human that transferred his soul to a scarecrow's body. No, that couldn't possibly be it.
They'll call you a liar, and some of them let's see here. Let's see. Give me a moment. I have a. Where did I put? Yes, there you are. So context. Years ago, I ran a very similar campaign, the same setting, with well, not similar, but roughly a similar campaign. And I made a little thing called the Hat of Fangirls, fangirl quotes, and
God.
actual fangirl quotes, like where I can cite different things, horrible things that fangirls have said because in defense of the person they're fangirling over. Let's see here. What does the hat produce?
So wait, is Flint still human, or did he turn back into?
He's
something?
human.
Okay.
Technically, you'd even know this. He's human.
Okay.
He's human. He's human, but between Hajime and I, she knows that he wants to transfer his soul to a scarecrow's body.
Yeah, become the immortal jack-o'-lantern.
Mhm.
Let's see here.
Actually, I think the title I
yes,
picked was
here
just
it
the lantern.
is. Go choke on a box of nails, you bestiality having trash girl. Wow. Oh, this is from from something. Oh, no wonder the translation's really weird. It's because it's from the Indian actors. Right. Fun fact. Yeah. I don't discriminate. A lot of rough translations here. Google Translate is a gift on this forsaken world.
Anyway.
She just kind of has a coy smile. Would you please move? My room is in here, and I've had a hard day so far.
All right. Let's see here.
Make an athletics check to see if you're in there.
I was gonna say you can either make an athletics or acrobatics check to try to swim through the hordes of people who are just legitimately curious as to what's going on, and fangirls.
Can I make a?
Oh, and
can I make a
religious zealots. But
Can I make
what's
a
the
persuasion?
difference with fangirls and religious zealots? They're kind of the same. I'm kidding.
Anyway.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll. Oh, what were you saying?
Can I make a persuasion to ask them to move out of the way nicely?
That would have to be a performance check.
Why
It will
not?
take
But
longer, but it's because you're eloquating yourself. Persuasion. I'll just give it to you. Persuasion. Because I was gonna say performance because you're.
Performance would be more like dancing.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's also like general, like long-term speaking as to like making yourself seem more likable. Persuasion is just like convincing somebody to do X, Y, and Z. Even if Yeah.
which would be persuasion. I mean, I could do performance. I believe I have advantage because of mm, one of my
Knowing,
feats.
yeah, you're knowing about the customs in this setting, in this country.
Uh, I'll actually do performance because it may be excuse me, it might be an 8 compared to a 13, but I have advantage. And that's
All right.
thematically a plus 5.
All right. Plus, okay, 18. Yeah, you managed to, perform your way through, apologizing using standard procedure for like social introduction, since most of these fangirls are of, yeah, they're children of nobles. They're pretty much most, if not all of them, are children of nobles.
Now,
Others that are not are mostly just musicians or bards.
Now here's the thing I'm curious about. If a member of the Weiss and uh, a a high priestess of the Demog religion or whatever called,
Yes,
if you will.
who is rumored to be quite the looker lady, or not that, who's rumored to be quite attractive as a woman.
Now here's the big thing. Normally with these sort of things, uh, if you're famous enough, you basically no one else can basically book that place for security reasons.
He hasn't reached that level of fame yet.
Okay. So there are normal people staying there.
Yeah, there
Okay.
are normal people staying there.
Okay.
So
Well.
but you do manage to, through customary gestures and conversation, quickly enough get through the horde of fans, religious zealots, and curious onlookers. The DC, by the way, was 15, so you slammed it out of the park on that one. Congratulations.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
That being said, you do manage to make your way through. You're eventually stopped by a guard. Not just any guard, a knight. Uh, spe- Specifically the actual military force of the Avrani Union, whose name at the moment escapes me, but I know I said it in the previous episode. That being said, you are stopped. They ask you. I don't want to do the voice for them, but they essentially ask you, "What's your name? Why are you here?" That sort of thing.
Mm,
You smell like
sh-
absolute stank.
no, she got the stank off of her.
Yeah, the stank's gone. Stank's gone.
Uh, she gives her full name. Hajime Oka. Uh, Ta- Takona. Uh, I am staying here with the hired by the Seven Nobles Guild. I I've had a long day, and I would appreciate it if you don't make it any harder.
All right. Let's see here. Make a general charisma check.
Uh, Normally
Yes.
7.
Uh
Damn.
huh. Yeah, I'm gonna. You're probably just. Fuck. Look, I'm sorry that your favorite musician isn't here to go and
She
sign your
she did
hands or
she
your
did she
nether
did
regions.
she did say she was a part of the Seven Nobles Guild who was
Yes, and he
here.
did show your badge. And
Mm,
here's the this guy doesn't believe you at first, but let me just finish. Like, just wait out here like everyone else and just give the guy or girl, I don't know, some space. And one of the soldiers walks up and like, hey, actually, no, that chick, that little girl's actually renting a room here. It's like wait, seriously? This bratty kid. And he says, I wouldn't call her that because she's you know, she's what, Frank? She's of that house. What house? There's a lot of houses I had to remember for this job. Which house? And he says, the uh the one with the Fae? Which one with the Fae? There's like 46 house 47. Thank you. 47 houses. Fae houses. I have to remember. Oh, the Tacona Fae. He's just I'm sorry. He lets you through.
Hmm.
Oh shit. Actually, yeah, and you'd actually be able to tell through the sort of iconography on his armor that he actually serves a Fae. Is a warlock, likely a warlock of a Fae that your parents helped into getting influence in the mortal realm.
Do I know this Faye's name?
I would say an Arcana check. Normally, you
Norm.
to even know it, you would yeah normally because to even know it would be with disadvantage or
Okay.
just straight out no. So
26.
26. You know her. She's she's not a fan of music, but then she's not a fan of anything except for she's not a fan of a lot of things except for one thing in particular, and that's not water. No, it's actually just floral based decorations.
Uh, a name of this Faye
They don't have
patron.
a they don't have a name, but they do have a title they often go by.
Hello?
Yeah, there it is, Blue Petal.
She before she goes, she eyes up the guard, kind of looks at the guard. Oh, I didn't realize people actually is he like a worshiper or is it like a patron
You can certainly
or
tell with let's see here. You can certainly tell at least with the eyes through the helmet, which are sort of very fey, very fey. Like color eyes are constantly shifting colors. That yeah, he's not a worshiper. He's more of a warlock of of Blue Petal.
Hmm, I didn't realize the blue petal had uh well I don't know why I would say that. It would make sense the blue petal would have uh warlocks. My parents actually helped her become powerful in the mortal realm.
That's great. I'm sorry for what I said. Have a good day, ma'am.
Mm,
He's like focused on some people are trying to get through. He's like, all right, hold it back, hold it back.
mm. Uh, I walk forward, or I go deeper into the tavern, I guess.
Make your way towards the inn. All right, easy enough. And as she asks, where as Larissa is asking where 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 your other two colleagues are, you know, and and then takes her leave into a room just in private with some soldiers to speak to him, speak to Flint in private. You see Larissa come in, and Nolan says, "Hey, you missed the show. Guess who came over?"
She just kind of shrugs her shoulders.
Apparently, Flint's girlfriend. I didn't think that they will get at any game, but looks I was wrong. What
Huh.
did you think? What do you think? What do you think, Vera? Well, I mean, God, you gotta admit, it's really weird, like traveling with him, that. Come on.
Well, makes sense. I mean, he wouldn't have made it as a singer, as a musician without some degree of charisma.
Yeah, but like at his age, with that, I guess she looks to you, normalizes. Oh, come on, back me up here.
Yeah, I gotta admit, the kid got lucky.
Exactly. God, I'm starting to think. Wait, don't tell me, Norlay, you're starting to get ideas about the men.
Fuck. Uh, honestly, I'm like,
Or do you not bend that way?
personally, anyone who can outdrink me deserves my love. I don't care about the ginger. I'll be right back. I gotta go get dinner above game.
Okay. Oh, okay. So he looks at Abdul and he's like, "Don't, no, no, yeah, kind of." Yeah, Abdul just sort of shrugs, like, "I don't know what to expect. You learn to you expect you learn to expect the unexpected. Why did I go German from? No, you learn to expect the unexpected. That being said, it is not a bad surprise by any stretch of the imagination. It's quite pleasant. Yeah, maybe he'll lighten up a bit and stop with the stress on his body and soul."
Hmm. He just kind of shrugs his shoulders. I really don't care. I mean, good for him, I guess. But she just shrugs a shoulder. It's
Hmm.
good for him, I guess. As long as they're at least somewhat happy. But I really could not care. At least not right now. How long has it been since we had
Since you
breakfast?
left, well, everyone else had breakfast. About like 3 hours.
It's not even 3 hours since I got up, and I've already had a long day.
Nolan says, Tell me, did you have a thing for you know who?
Who?
He just, you know, him, Mr. Lucky Boy, musician extraordinaire, pumpkin face.
And why would I ever have a thing for him?
I don't know. Both about the same age. Like, I don't know
Mm,
about, international romantic traditions. I come from, if you're
Well,
both about the same age, you know. But then again, a region empire, a lot of dangerous stuff, so standards might be a bit higher than just age.
I've
mm,
returned with food.
I mean, he is a nice guy and all, but firstly, he's too crass, too up. Need a more refined some, and that's even implying that romance is completely not on my radar.
Hmm. I see. So you're the one who's definitely into the crass guys. The gentlemanly crass guy. I'm messing with you. That'd be gross if I was if I was seriously implying that. No. Seriously, it's just really. I'm still just you know what? I'm gonna go check on some things.
Yes, you do Nolan things. Uh,
Yeah.
whatever Nolan things are.
Nolan does what Nolan likes, and what Nolan likes is not what you like.
Obviously.
does finger guns towards you and uh Norlai, as he walks up the stairs, as he stops for a moment. Actually, Norlai, we still need to talk about that thing later. Not today. I think I might have some people who owe some shit.
Up again,
So,
what is he
yep,
talking about? Because I'm blanking.
the demon
Oh yeah, that's right.
appearing in the material plane and not disappearing to a
That's
pile of mush.
got it.
Mm, gross. She just kind of wipes away the spot where the finger gun would have metaphorically hit.
Yeah, the forehead.
She just kind of wipes it with a handkerchief. Gross. Everything about the lad is gross.
He's an odd one. By the way, I should probably formally introduce myself to you, seeing how I assume you're part of this group. My name's Norlai Blackhammer.
Uh, she just she's putting she puts the handkerchief away. Uh, Hajime. Hajime Takona.
Yeah.
Back at the Feywild and in Eretha, people call me Oka.
Would you prefer to be
See,
called Oka or Hajime?
It's she just kind of shrugs her shoulders.
So either or.
I've
God
got
damn it.
either are. I,
actually, yeah. In your case, roll a history with advantage, Alex, because your Fey connection.
History.
Disadvantage
19.
19. Yeah, you've heard of the Oka family. Interesting people. In fact, some Fae that serve old Jack. They get into contact with her family sometimes, or when they can get into contact with her family sometimes to start getting into that whole warlocky business that people talk about.
Yeah. Norlai will just come back like, oh yeah, I heard your family. Uh,
mm,
my patron, Jack Frost gets in contact with some of them.
a bunch of bureaucrats. My mom never really had the time. Uh, she, we'll align ourselves with the Grim Court. Trying to bridge the connections between mortal and the Fae. Other
Wait,
than
so did you drop your patron god's name or no? Again, to in front of Hajime.
Oh yeah, I did mention actual Jack Frost out loud. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you actually recognize the name. It's kind of like your uncle figure, so to speak. He was there like whenever you, like on holidays, when it came to playing in the snow and shit. He was always the best, and you get a feeling now, at least now that you're older, that he probably let you win a few times.
uh, so what type of uncle? The jolly uncle, the creepy uncle,
I'm
like
thinking actual fun uncle, like the actual
The Funkle,
yeah.
the
the
oh
OG Funkle, not the
oh
cringe Funkle, the actually Funkle.
uh she just kind of rubs her chin. Oh, Funkle Frost.
Oh, so you do personally know him.
Mm. Oh, when I was growing up in the Feywild, uh, he was always so kind. Fun time. Used to call all the neighboring Fey children used to call him Funkle Frost. He was, and I quote, he was the original fun uncle.
Yeah, that does sound like him.
Uh, hmm. So what do you? So why are you here exactly?
Well, I got asked and tasked with joining your group, which is kind of weird when they ask a person who prioritizes in making ales and alcohol into helping out you guys. Well, whatever. Not one to argue.
I mean, you have to have more skills than just that.
Oh, yeah, I'm a cleric by trade, but my business is alcohol.
Oh. Hmm. Fascinating. Uh, I grew up in the Feywilds. I have a strong connection to the green. I am a druid of it. Outside of the game, how does the Blackthorn Grove feel about people knowing about itself? Does it want to be kept secret? Does it want people to know about it? I never really figured that out.
You'd have to. It's case by case basis, depending on the entity. Like in terms of other uh, uh, beings or other people who serve beings that he calls uh, equals, which are very few and far between. He doesn't care if you drop his name in front his what he who you serve in front of them. But with everything else who he considers lesser, like normal Fae and well, like celestials, aberrations, all that, he appreciates it if you don't. He would appreciate if you don't drop his name because while he wants you to have some degree of freedom, he also doesn't want you to end up getting yourself killed because of him.
Okay, so it's a case by case basis.
Yeah,
Aberration, celestials, don't
yeah, because he
don't
doesn't
say.
know. Yeah, because he doesn't know who hates him the most. All that shit.
Okay, but like Fae and the more whatchamacallit, reasonable crowd.
Yeah,
Uh, mm,
the sane crowd, in your opinion, but yeah,
okay. Uh, okay. Uh,
you're not sure with Funkel Frost though,
mm,
and because it's yeah, you're not sure. He's generally pretty pun not intended chill, but he's got a thing for protecting innocence, and while the Blackthorn Grove doesn't hunt down innocence, he doesn't care if they get in the way. So
mm.
you really don't know. You might hate him, he might not. It's
Okay.
yeah,
Again, case by case. If I get in trouble,
yeah.
I get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she, okay, to kind of rewind there. I have a strong connection to the green. I am a druid of the garden, and I serve since you are a part of this group, I serve the Blackthorn Grove, and she kind of removes the her elbow her elbow length glove and kind of shows you the mark on her wrist on her back of her
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah. Actually, Norla, you don't hear that last bit about the Blackthorn Grove.
Like
In fact,
it's like
you actually, unless like stacking, like, wait, what's it spell? Like your mind goes elsewhere for a moment.
it drifts off. It's like
Yeah.
no, more apt to just like thinking about alcohols. Like, I wonder what kind of drink she would like as she's talking about that.
It's less of yeah, and you actually notice this. Roll a actually also Vera, if she wishes. Either of you can roll a Arcana or Religion check.
Alright, let's see.
Vera, oh, yeah. So, and
Religion.
well, not you,
Oh,
Norma. You're the victim of this,
Oh,
but
okay,
yeah.
sorry. That's a wasted
That
natural 20.
poor wasted natural 20. But you can probably
Of course
guess.
wasted.
I'll give you something for that. I'll give you something for that. But yeah. So you Master can roll either Arcana or Religion.
Which he
Oh,
did.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's flesh. Oh,
I
never mind.
that's yeah.
I roll. Okay.
Yeah.
Depending on what you roll, which skill you roll, you'll get different pieces of information.
Considering I have a +2 in religion, compared to a +12 in Arcana.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
I like this, but I really like this. So, okay. So, both you and Vera can know that this might be a side effect of the influences from certain entities, or at least more active influences, like in the case of clerics, where they kind of have to be monitored to make sure they don't do something that they themselves would disapprove of, so that way they can just snatch up the power if they do something bad, like or against their nature. However, there are a few cases where sometimes they just won't hear anything, like a name or an idea. In the case of some paladins, not hearing the true name of a demon, because it would send them into a wrathful fury against their own allies, because one of them wronged them in some way, shape, or form, or in other ways, just like a bad smell or a bad memory, in exchange for, let's say, just and blurring it out with like just like, oh, you're just asleep, you're daydreaming in that moment, so it's kind of the memory being kind of blurred. It's very rare occasions, very extreme occasions. Meanwhile, Norlai, take a moment to think. She looks like a blueberry girl. No, 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 no. Wait, hold on a second. How old is she? You sort of look at her up and down. Ah, shit, she's underage. She can't drink. Fuck.
No, it's like
This isn't Arether. There's no drinking age in Arether. That's what makes Arether so great. Shit. But you get a feeling that if she gets older, definitely a like some sort of fruity beer type or some fruity wine type of girl.
like damn it, I can't believe she's on the date. Wait, she's an adventure. God damn it, that contradicts.
Yeah. I mean, child labor laws very flexible in this era. Very flexible, unfortunately.
Or
That being
fortunately.
said, that depends on your perspective of the setting, but yeah, that are either way.
It's depending on who you ask. The child working 12 hours in a coal mine, absolutely horrible. The gnomish owner of said mine, absolutely amazing.
Okay, well, that aside, oh, no. Sometimes Kenkus, it really depends on the culture they grew up in. Anyways, moving on.
Well, what's the Jewish race of D&D?
There's no single justice. Also, the Judean faith, while historically has been a specific subset of people over the centuries that do call themselves eventually, accommodated together,
No
and eventually call themselves
anti-Semitic
Jewish.
jokes. Bad, Duke. Bad.
Well, no, here's the thing.
Fuck you.
Technically, it's a faith. The Judean faith is a faith, first and foremost, and secondarily, a group of people. Here, it has the faith, that concept doesn't exactly exist yet. Yet. Just wait a few decades for the industrial age, and well, I got something planned there. That aside,
Oh, so
you
I get to actually be anti-Semitic in the industrial age.
yes, but
Amazing.
it's not. Yeah, but here's the thing: it's not anti-Semitic. Oh, depends on the religion. Depends on the religion. But yeah, whatever. Moving on. So, where are we? I lost my train of thought.
What time is it right now?
Just roll my eyes.
In game or IRL?
In game.
In game, it's like 9 in the morning. It's about to be 10,
Oh.
like in 10, 20 minutes.
Okay.
So like a quarter till 10.
Yeah, like a quarter till 10. Almost. But yes, that aside. So, yeah, that you both. Yeah, okay, now here. There we are. So, Vera and Hajime, both of you can tell that. Either she herself is either likely the being she serves is protecting her in a way from certain pieces of information from reaching her by like distracting her in some way, shape, or form.
Uh, she'll just keep like a mental note of that, like, okay. Probably don't talk about it to her.
If anything, you might want to talk to Frost about it. What's going on with this whole thing? In the future, just not right now yet.
Right.
That being said, Vera, this phenomenon. Make a general intelligence check.
Okay, for the record, can you recap what the phenomenon is? I'm a little bit
The
woozy from lack of
phenomenon
food.
is it's fine. The phenomenon boils down to basically entity if split with people have a closer due to their nature of their powers have a much more close relationship with their patron entity. It sometimes in different ways censors out specific things.
I have a perfect example. Funkle Frost put a child filter on Noralai.
Basically. But in this case with information. In this case by distracting with the thoughts of, hey, what sort of alcohol would she wait, she's underage. Shit. What if she gets older? Essentially.
The
And
perfect
actually, yeah.
distraction for Norlai.
Yes. The perfect censoring distraction. Yeah. Make a general intelligence check because some lines are starting to cross. Or, yeah, certain wires are starting to cross. 24. You get a feeling that that phenomenon, something in the back of your head is feeling off right now. And then you notice it. Your perception of things has been a bit skewed when it came to seeing the drug lines, the drugs as lines. Get a feeling that when you were looking at the chemical strips, that you weren't seeing everything.
Well, that's weird.
And it probably has to do with that, with your oath. You might be pulling from something trying to censor out certain pieces of information. You might want to rely on. You get a feeling that you might need to use somebody else's eyes, proverbially, to look at this stuff. But in the meantime, you might want to
What kind of
see what
causes?
this entity is.
What kind of causes? Because mine is more of an oath of vengeance than to anyone in particular.
Let's see here. If you want to think about it, make a religion, or try. If you want to try and pin it down, either an Arcana or a religion check, because this is like about oath and oath magic. It's kind of interchangeable between the two. 22. You think about it for a bit. Not a lot of beings deal with the hunting down and extermination of mages, or at least not in this specifically extreme degree your channel divinity performs, or in the way that actually deflects, or you're actually able to much more easily resist certain spells, or even to the point of gaining access to anti-magic spells from your oath. Definitely not any specific god. Some offer the oath, but not offer different forms of the oath, but not your specific oath. Not any specific devils or demons. That hopefully, thankfully, because paladin and all that. Definitely not any form of. Wait, actually, maybe angelic, but on the very low chance, maybe aberrations. Maybe you're unknowingly pulling from an aberration. Maybe, or maybe it's maybe it's the spirit of an ancestor. You do have a lot of ancestors, so many of them, you're from your sister definitely learned some stuff in the past from your family's ancestry. So maybe you're getting power from that, from an ancestor. So it might be an ancestor, might be some sort of anti-magic obsessed celestial, or maybe, and hopefully not, hopefully not, an aberration.
Well, no, let's not be racist.
Well, yes, but also most of them are pretty nasty buggers. Good chunk of them. About 90% of them. Actually, 99 point something 9%. Flumps are the only redeemable ones because they're the good boys who only want to feed off of your negative, who take away your negative emotions and stuff and want to cheer you up. Because they are far more easily fed by positive emotions. They don't drain as much.
Yeah, fair point.
That being said, it's something that you actually notice.
Well, I know exactly who I would ask for help with looking at the strips.
Yeah. As you think that, you notice the door open and Benor coming in with a bag of something. She turns. Oh, is this not a good time?
Oh no, it's a perfect
Wait,
time.
why? She looks around. Right. She sort of notices you, Norlai. Walks like 5 feet apart from you. Hello. And then just walks off and then just walks around you and towards Vera. And to which she puts something in your hands, Vera.
What is this?
Do you open it up?
I do.
She says, some snacks for the road. As you open it up, you see the familiar blue glow. About, let's see here. Oh, good lord. 21 vials of mana.
Wow.
Where did you get this?
She verbally she just says, "From a store. Where else do you get snacks?" And in your mind you hear, let's see here. What was it? Ah, yes. Questions we both don't want an answer to. But if you must know, and telepathically, again, you also receive the. But if you must know, I I found a dealer and knocked him unconscious and stole all of his drugs.
Nice.
Yes, snacks are very nice. That being said, what was it? Right. I do. There are some in there that I want. So let's just go to your room and split these snacks. And Noel says, "Hey, let me get some." And not Benor just says, "None that you're interested in." He says, "But I really, but hey, I mean, I might like it.
I,
They have nuts."
I
Ah,
say,
shit. Never mind.
I was about to say, yeah, you're allergic.
Oh no, I'm not allergic. I just hate nuts. Ugh, gross.
He labels himself as a fun guy, but then he says he hates on nuts. Hmm.
Yes,
alright, I'll be
he's a
right.
walking contradiction.
Yeah, it really is. Alright, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm going, I'm going to just start back towards the room with Benor.
All right. And eventually, let's see here. And eventually, after all that happens, let's see here. Yes. So, yeah. So, let's see here.
Once,
What the heck is going?
once we're in the room, I explain my suspicions that about the whole filter thing.
Hmm. And as you're going to have, and as you're having the conversation with her, Hajime, as you're sort of just waiting around, you notice the door to what you remember is like the servants' lounge open. A few knights walking out, and you see Flint like hand in hand with this purple skinned woman. When I already mentioned, I'm not going to repeat it because I'm lazy. I'm also a bit tired and
Mm-hmm.
cranky.
We get it.
Yeah. So, what's your character's thoughts?
Like it's blatantly obvious that this is the girlfriend of Flint.
Yeah, but also like, what is your character's thoughts on her immediate appearance?
Immediate opinions is Jesus Christ. What the fuck is that? But then she realized, no, that's rude. That's rude to think. Bad, bad. She has her own feelings, thoughts, emotions. Uh, bad.
You then hear
Uh,
her creating this ungodly noise as she's speaking through her. You hope it's just through her mouth. You really hope it's just through her mouth. Which, Flint, you'd hear is like, essentially in her mother tongue, since she's feeling particularly comfortable. Uh, if you ever need to speak to her, she's currently residing a uh, in a church of Iamede. She gives you the exact address.
Alright, Everton.
So
Thank
yeah.
you. I'll make sure to check later.
You then like you're spot like Jesus Christ, what is that noise? And then you hear Flint making very similar noises and like Jesus Christ, what the hell is he saying? What the hell?
huh.
It's weird.
She's very concerned. But at the same time, it's like they're obviously together, so she must be not. She must be somewhat nice if Flint can stand her.
Yeah. She then turns and notices you for a moment and stops. And then she says in common,
I'm afraid you're gonna have to speak common again.
Yeah, she then speaks in
I don't
common to
think
you.
she gets the mother tongue.
Oh, yes, I figured. As you hear, like, much more softer, much more like a not yeah, much weaker, almost a weaker demeanor that contrasts quite noticeably with her, regal attire and rather imposing uh, body language. Uh, Hi. I take it you're the other one of the other friends of no friends colleagues was uh the knight just responds interchangeable in those cultures. Yeah, friend of friend.
Eyes kind of narrow. Uh, with kind of I'd say more than a friend. But yes, I am a Hajime. Hajime.
All right. She's gonna roll an insight on that. That's what she rolls well, boys and girls. Jesus fucking Christ, why? Why of all times? Why do you curse me so?
What's going on?
Do
Mix
he
that,
rolled
I think
private?
you're a natural
He,
one.
he rolled privately, and I'm assuming got a bad roll. Auntie?
Yeah, I was just loading it into the fucking Thursday group chat. Jesus Christ, I thought maybe this session was going to go without any drama, but I guess I can't have nice things, huh? I guess I can't. Whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know how I feel.
yeah, she stares at you, and in your mind, uh, you want me to give you the
Why do you
censored
have to
version?
word things like this?
Do you want me to give
Oh,
you the censored version, or do you want me to give you the uncensored version?
hold on. Is this like a my? Is this like I believe
Telepathic speak.
I have one of my abilities is no, it's just you gain resistance to psychic damage. I
Yeah,
believe.
not telepathy. I mean, in a way, what she's about to say is considered psychic damage, but not technically. So, as it doesn't deal physical
Yeah,
damage that
but the
harms your
question:
brain.
do you want the censored version or the uncensored version? So either the TG one or the R-rated
If
version.
I, yeah, do you want me? If you want me to give you the TV-14, I can PM you the uncensored version, basically.
For the camera, give me uh the TV-14, but definitely PM me what she's actually saying.
All right. How do I put this? Jesus fucking Christ! I didn't actually think this through. Here it is. Yes, words are finally coming together. So essentially, she telepathically tells you to if you so much if you attempt to think that if you think that you're going to be able to swoon Flint, you are horribly mistaken. Go back to where you put those ideas to where they came from, that being the gutter, and have yourself a lovely day.
Hmm.
That's the PG-13 version.
Okay.
Essentially, the PG-13 of get your eyes off of my man.
Hmm.
I sort of it sort of gives a gives a gentle like hug, but not certainly not something that you don't see coming. A Christian side hug with Flint, who either intentionally with her or unintentionally uh, puts a bit of a pronunciation on the chest region for her.
Hmm.
Flint is just looking at Hajime confused, knowing what exactly what she said there. She's just having the most confused expression of why that's even apparent on the mask that he is wearing.
Yeah.
There is no needed for
Now
insight. There is just
I'm
why.
rolling. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say you'd immediately know what's going on through her head, but you don't know if she's speaking to her. But verbally, she's saying, "Oh well, that's interesting. Well, I'm happy to see that Flint is having so many new friends. I feel very comfortable in his that he's surrounded by such lovely and talented young people. But telepathically, yeah, you know she's spitting on that venom.
Mm.
Even amongst different cultures, thousands, millions of light years apart, breast envy attempts are still a thing among the creatures with mammillary glands.
Mhm. So what's the non PG? Uh,
I'm getting that to you.
oh.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll finish that up in a few. But in the meantime, she just gives Flint a Christian side hug and says, "Well, I must be off. I have to go take care of some deeds, some other deeds. Apparently, the my some former tribe members are having a child with a human woman. So I need to be there in addition to some other people and some other acting priests of other gods to ensure that just to ensure both that the birthing process is successful and to see if what is the result. So have yourself a lovely day." And she just gestures for the knights to join her, and yeah.
Mm. I don't have any form of telepathy.
Yep.
Nope. With the Demog, if I recall correctly, it's one way. I know, like with some.
Gestures, essentially saying, it gives a thumbs up. And as she goes ahead and leaves, this expression of why comes back on his face as soon as he turns to Hajime.
Bluntly, she says, I think she's threatened by me or something. Like she's like,
Said more than friends, though. You know do you not know
I was,
exactly what that implies?
I thought she was referring to herself. I thought she said she was a friend. Uh,
Oh, she's
like outside a game, I completely thought she herself said, I'm a friend of Flint.
Now she asked if asked if you were a friend of Flint.
That's not what I heard.
It
I
might
could
have
be
cut.
wrong.
Might have cut out. I will check the recording
Might
when I
have.
go in.
Yeah.
either
I'm
way,
sure the
interesting.
recording will
Not
speak
one
the
event.
truth. Yeah. Yeah.
But regardless, Oh, there's just awkward silence there. It's like,
Anyway, please, when you do meet with her again, please act in a way that dissuades any kind of thoughts. But I need you to, when you interact with me, basically physically denounce any and all ideas of a relationship.
All right, sent.
All right.
Jesus Christ! I just
got pretty much threatened by someone who got jealous. Jeez.
I have an older sister, and she would vent.
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
woman.
yeah. Well, this could have been completely avoided if I'd heard what she had said correct. Oh well.
We could just easily say because of like, if it turns out it was probably me mishearing, then we can cut that. We can just retcon that. It's an easy thing. But if you actually misheard it, then that's on you, man.
Yeah,
That's
she just kind of shrugs. Her accent is hard to understand and broken. I'm not the one that's fault here, but at the same time, she said some very rude things to me.
what did she actually say?
Uh, I don't know if I want to say it out loud.
Ooh, that
Honestly.
bad. Like Norella just goes, ooh, that bad.
Nolan's just meanwhile Nolan's just having a conversation with Abdul. Like I get it, okay? Like the way that skin glists off the light, I can completely understand. But like a guy, like how do they even look like? And Abdul says, you could probably find out if you ever try to speak to one. Or, but essentially, and yeah, but how? Meanwhile, you guys,
Uh, kind of trying to think.
if you want to PM it to essentially just in game, it will be whispering, but out of game, you
Uh,
just be PMing it to your fellow players.
I
Then
will say
go ahead.
I will say just kind of not really PMing because that would take me out of the roll 20 and I'd have to load it. Hey,
You can
don't.
PM it post game if you wish.
Uh, I never. How do I phrase it? She called me a bull-chested bitch. I really don't even understand that.
It seems a little harsh to be
And
calling.
removes the mask to facepalm.
Alright, it's just like, why would she call a child that?
She doesn't know how she is. Her entire culture and race are literally off of this world.
She even
Most
said that.
likely that she doesn't actually know what
No,
she looks like via looking. She can't tell. She might not be able to tell that you are a child. Mm.
oh no, I think she knows what she's doing. She even in her threatening message, she says she, and I quote, You're toying with things you would rather not have played with, or for fear of old tradition of the odd social traditions of this world. T- She doesn't. She's an odd one. I could tell the feelings there, but she's kind of like a very puzzled, like a visibly puzzled expression.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah,
Norley just says to you, it's like, man, I'd offer you a drink for your troubling times, but you're not old enough yet. Which is a shame. Especially in this country with having such loose drinking laws.
Yeah.
yeah.
As you guys are
Perhaps,
having this conversation, oh, sorry, you're saying?
yeah. Perhaps next time you see her, tell her I don't view you that way, and uh, yeah. I mean, you're nice and all, but you're way too angry and crass. Like, let's be real here.
It just shrugs. Oh, that's enough. That's probably enough points to. I still don't have a grasp on this language quite yet. But yeah, I could work with those points.
Meanwhile, Vera, you effectively fill her in on, your realization. You may not be seeing the whole picture with the chemical strips. She's like listening and, intently, respectfully as well, and asks if, like, how many lines are you seeing with these tests?
I don't know, 7?
Yeah, it was 7. She sort of nods along with it and says, "There are," and for you, for a brief moment, as she tries to say something, make a wit. Now that you're aware of it, make a general, just make just a general wisdom save. See if you can get a grasp as to how much you're dealing with here through the sensory sensor. All right, 20. This is a normal, so 21. It's odd. Mentally, it's odd. Mentally, it's like trying to claw through white noise, or trying to hear through the ringing of your of a ten of like a ten when your tinnitus starts acting up or something like that, or like even just trying to like if like trying to make out words that have been scribbled over. And let's see here. Let's see. Actually, I need to double check something real quick. See, sorry, I just need to pull my nose. Oh, that's interesting. Right, because okay, yeah. So, what is your spell save DC? Vera, or for Vera?
Um, that depends on which class.
For in this case, Paladin, since this ability
Fif-
Oath is
15, I believe.
DC 15.
Yeah.
Then you manage to a bit more easily cut through this white noise. It's still something to have to get through, and it is not helped with the sort of mental discomfort. But you manage to get the exact number. Let's see here. 16. There are 16 lines. There are 16 lines there, she says. And with that, I need you to make a charisma saving throw. With disadvantage due to the source of this, well, save.
Yeah, 16.
A 16 succeeds. As you feel something try to overwhelm you. Something try to pull you deeper. Something try to reach into your mind and make you forget about it. But all of that, even to the point of trying to rewrite your own personality to deny it. You can tell this because in some way it's almost familiar, as when Benor notices your pained expression while she's in the middle of asking, "Are you all right?" Time stops, and you hear a golf clap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
8, 9, 10, 11,
Okay.
12, 13,
And then followed by
14,
silence
15,
afterwards.
16.
And then you hear several voices. My. You're of a very, very, very curious. Mind. Very, very, very strong. Do you respond?
Who are you?
You. Well. No. Everything. Soon. As I need you to make a wisdom saving throw with advantage due to this being a potentially harmful effect. Oh wait, no, you don't have the shield. My bad. So it would be normally. Shit.
Wait, how do you not have shield on you unless you're not
She's
ready?
having it modified and stuff,
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is
upgraded.
only the this is only the next day.
Well, you haven't picked it
Oh,
up yet.
okay, fair enough.
So wisdom save for me. 17. Well, this is from the entity's saving throw, not yours. Which in this case succeeds just barely. So let's see here. Yeah, I'm just gonna outright tell you, would have been 5d12 damage. Psychic damage, mind you. But in this case it's only 5d4 psychic damage. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know what I was on when I was writing up this being.
Yeah, but it sounds like you wanted someone to take damage regardless. Which
Well,
sounds like a.
depends on the severity. Right. Oh, right now I remember. Right. To my old. Uh, good memories. Not good to get implemented in 5th edition, though. Right.
Yeah, no kidding.
So you only take 10 points of psychic damage as.
I'm going, I'm going to do something that's honestly more about sending a message than actually any that actually what it actually does.
Mm-hmm.
So remember how I retrained that class because I really didn't like the warden.
Yes.
I'm going to use the one ability that is actually kind of different from that. I am going to tighten the weave around myself in order to prevent some of that damage.
All right. Roll it.
Expending first a first level spell slot.
All right. Mark it off and
Actually, no.
roll.
I'll go with the second level spell slot.
All right. Go ahead and roll the spell. Roll for the how much damage is reduced. Wow. Okay then. All right. Oh dear. Just gonna ignore those two things. That being said, you managed to resist to push off most of the damage. Well, there's still something. And with that, you start to remember things differently. That time training with with the other paladins and well, soon to be paladins in the monastery. Well, pseudo monastery, more of a college house. You start to remember certain books that you passed by without a second glance. You notice people that were always looking at you. You remember the voices of these people as they sort of said something to your ears, in a way influencing your dreams, saying things like, "Ignore the apple you ate at lunch. It was never there." Or even saying things like, "That guy who's harassing you, who you think is harassing you, he doesn't exist anymore." Things like that, changing your perception of events, changing maybe people themselves. The way it all comes to you, it's almost akin to that of a be all like in one moment being in the middle of a like completely airless and or windless and blank room, and to just suddenly finding yourself inside of a hurricane as you're just bombarded with memories and that are now changed to be what they truly are. And then you notice something. Yes, 16 lines, but you also saw something else ringing with that protection from good and evil, or not, that detect from good and evil. Make a general arcana or religion check. Natural.
Oh,
You then notice in that memory they were not when you were performing detect good and evil, they weren't separate ping, they weren't like the pings for, all those otherworldly entities, all at once. They're not just all at once so much as like coming from like, clearly from different creatures. They were all from the very same creature. And do you know that creature? Do you know the name of what type of creature that is? Because, in a way, It's always been there. It's always been with your family. It's always been watching over your sister. It's always been in your in your tribe. Always giving power in exchange for, well, fame, notoriety, maybe to satiate its hunger. That hunger that you remember from that vision that immediately dissipates when you no longer see something else that is familiar yet distant. The name comes to you like a family name. Abomination. The resulting unfettered chaos. The source of outsiders. Mana uses something from from an abomination. And with that, we're ending the session there.
That's
So,
interesting.
yeah.
Alright. Want me to stop, right?
Yep, go ahead.